I want to go to the hospital, okay? And I have had the unfortunate experience of being in that situation on multiple occasions, but also the very fortunate experience of living to be able to talk about it. And I know that some of the things I experience are things that many Black women experience and don't actually make it, right? This needs to be addressed to me because one day my daughter is going to go to the hospital and I want her to be taken care of in a competent way. In a way that is culturally sensitive and in a way that's going to ensure that her going to the hospital doesn't exacerbate her issue, but actually makes things better, right? So that's one thing. I'm a woman. Another thing that makes me want to vote is I want to send my kids to schools that are failing, right? And that happens because of the people you vote for the Board of Education. Some places they get nominated or appointed, and some places they get elected by a general body. Those are things that you should be aware of, right? I'm also voting and very passionate because I do come from an immigrant family, right? So I happen to have one of those experiences of realizing that there was one point in time when I was not a U.S. citizen, and my parents did whatever they did to get me into a position where I can vote for a population or a demographic such as our own, right? And so I'm going to vote in a way that's going to meet the interest of that, because if my cousin comes, or if I want my grandparents to come and visit me, I don't want them to all of a sudden be blacklisted on some list like what happened in the previous administration, and they can't come. Like I deserve to be able to see my grandparents and my family that lives in a different country the same way a European does, right?
Correct.
So those are the things that we need to think about. These are our everyday lives. If you want your children to be able to meet your parents, right, and maybe you cannot afford $10,000 to take all 5 of y'all or however many that covers to Kenya, but you can pay one ticket for them to come here, you want to make sure that legislation exists that allows you to do that.
Wow.
Shithole countries. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, if we didn't know that, I'm reggaeholic. And Morgan Heritage in their I think the album is called Mission in Progress. There's a question. The song is called Politicians, and they ask, why do we vote? Why should we trust in politicians if there is no place for we, you and I, because in their secret society they call us minority?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the question.
Even though our numbers say different.
Yeah, I wish to ask, but please go to I see some.
The comments.
Yes,
Okay.
the comments here.
They're coming over here. By the way, Paul Sana Ali, he sent out a message.
He's getting some flowers.
Paul Lenny watu wangu, my
Makes
voice
me
Leo
feel
went
sick.
south before prime time, but crew is holding it down. Karibu, asante sana. Blessings in disguise. Ali, Abadawi hana sauti. Hi, Aida. What? Yata hiyo si cheap shot. Hiyo ni kumbo, but the ref
ila Ali amepata malavu mpaka nimefikiri kwamba na mimi niwe mgonjwa.
The ref waves player. Yes. Slay says, Texas, if you ain't going to vote, I don't know what else to say. Texas, Texas, Texas. There's an advert out there for Mothers Against Greg Abbott. But anyway. Ida says, as a Kenyan living in America, is my life really affected by my voting or lack of?
Yes.
If I invest in Kenya and I'm just here to say school or work and plan to retire back home? Question. Slay says, I will say it does. Think of how cops will treat you. A good example is the Roe versus Wade. Please vote even if you plan to retire at home. Reason I pose this that way is because half our people don't vote or care because YT, who's that? Lives, you young lives, yeah, YouTube, I don't know.
No, it's...
YT means what? Oh!
Yeah, does this?
Oh, okay. Lives will change and or be affected, but doesn't trickle down to us. Hello, I learned something today. It affects us big time. Even if we are just here for school or plan to retire home, we are not exempt. Discrimination. I'll say this. Ida, look for video of a lady called Sandra Bland. Was it Blanche?
Okay.
Do I have a name right?
Sandra Bland. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra Bland. She used to be, even she was an activist or whatever, but she gets pulled over, traffic stop. is arrested. Next thing, she's being buried.